most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome your Grand Marshal, four-time Talladega winner, and leader of the famed Alabama gang, Bobby Allison.
This is Alabama. Crank them engines.
Yep, believe it or not, you saw it there. Danica Patrick on the front row for the Hellman's 500 for the Talladega Cup race. Cutoff race, the final race of round 2. Ooh, man. We saw in the truck race, let's just go with the truck race. Pretend they're trucks, but in the truck race, right? We've seen NASCAR Fan 20 get caught up in a wreck. I forgot to show the replay. If I can remember, I'll show you what happened in that very race and put it in here in the end of the vid. But in the Truck Series race, we saw NASCAR Fan 20 get caught up in a wreck on the backstretch heading into Turn 3, which cost him to advance into the next round, therefore eliminating him from the chase. But let's see what happens in the Cup Series. Let's see if he can stay out of trouble. And hopefully, deja vu will not repeat itself. But anyway, take a look at the starting grid. Danica Patrick, your pole winner, alongside Martin Truex Jr. They are on the front row. Danica Patrick's first pole of the season. The Penske teammates of Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski, a championship contender. Row 3, you'll find Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Busch in the Snickers almond colors, followed by Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Pied Piper, here at this place, alongside Ryan Blaney in the Quick Lane colors. Last time he was in that paint scheme, he won a race, which was at Indianapolis. Can he do it again here at Talladega? Maybe. It's possible. Chase Elliott in the 25, Napa Chevy, alongside NASCAR Fan 20, sponsoring Norfolk Southern. Even Norfolk Southern's taking notice. Jeff Gordon, in his final Talladega race, in his final race with 3M on board, starts alongside Ryan Newman. Jeff Gordon hoping to get a good run today. Finished third. Wait, not third. Bain finished third. Finished second in the previous Talladega Cup race to Carl Edwards when Season 4, when it was in its beginning days. Casey Kane in the 5-car, alongside Tony Green, who makes his NASCAR Sprint Cup Series debut. In the beginning of the season, it was confirmed in one of the videos that he was going to make his Cup Series debut, or it was probably in the comment section, I can't remember, but it was said that he was going to make his Cup Series start at Talladega Superspeedway in this event, and well, it's happening. It is happening for Fastlane Motorsports and Tony Green. They are followed by the Petty Enterprises teammates, Brian Scott, who is currently leading the Rookie of the Season standings, starting alongside Eric Almirola. Jamie McMurray in the 1, hoping to be number 1 today, alongside Matt Kenseth in the 20. Trevor Bayne alongside Tony Stewart. Carl Edwards in the surfboard paint job, alongside Kevin Harvick back in the Budweiser Chevy. Greg Biffle in the 16 for Roush Racing, alongside Michael Annett for JTG. Denny Hamlin alongside Paul Menard. Ryan Reed in the 29 alongside Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 17. Sonny D's back on board. Kyle Hampton Sr. in the 121 car. Top 10 at a plate track, but it was not here. It was at Daytona for the season opener race in the Daytona 500. Starts alongside Sam Hornish Jr. in the 9 car. Kurt Busch alongside Austin D. Dillon. Kyle Larson and Michael Waltrip in that row, and that is your field for the Hellman's 500 at Talladega. To conclude round 2 of the Sprint Cup Series playoffs. Who's in? Or who will be in and who will be out? We are about to find out. No pun intended. 34 starters ready to take the green flag here, hoping to stay out of trouble, hoping to avoid the big one. We're green from Talladega. Martin Truex Jr. hoping to get Furniture Row Racing its first win. Leads lap 1. He's in the surge of doing so. Leading 1 lap now, make it 2 laps. Holding off the Fords of Ryan Blaney and Brad Keselowski. Here comes NASCAR fan 20 to the inside. Blaney on the outside. 3 wide for the lead. And NASCAR fan 20 with the advantage with a little help from Ryan Newman. Keselowski trying to thread the needle, but that ends up in a big wreck right there, as we got multiple cars in this wreck. Jimmy Johnson's in it, one of the championship contenders. Brad Keselowski's in it. Oh man, this will cost these chase contenders big time. You see Casey Kane in the 5 getting towed away. Here is the replay of the wreck. Wow. That was crazy. You can see back there, Brad Keselowski and Martin Truex Jr. made contact there. Keselowski, hold on, it looks as though Keselowski threaded the needle there, which sent Truex into the side of Ryan Newman, which gets Newman shooting up the racetrack hard into the turn 1 wall, reminiscent of 2003 when he nearly flipped in that race in April of 2003. Brad Keselowski nowhere to go. Tony Green nowhere to go. Tony Green in his first Cup race ends up in a wreck. What a heartbreak. McMurray gets caught up in it. You see Kyle, hold on. Kyle Busch. Oh man. Brad Keselowski on top of Kyle Busch. Martin Truex Jr. gets hit by Logano. You see Brian Scott there get caught up in the mix. Gets hit by Kyle Busch and gets into the back of Jamie McMurray, Brian Scott. Here comes Hendrick teammates of Johnson and Casey Kane as they get in the back of Scott and Logano. Kane into Scott and Johnson into Logano. 10-car pile-up. It's the big one. Newman lands back on all fours. Truex, however, still is on 2. This will cost Keselowski and Johnson in the playoffs. I'm saying that now. Luckily for Casey Kane, with his win in Charlotte, no sweat. No sweat. But for Keselowski and Johnson, they're sweating now. Casey Kane getting off. And considering that this is a 7-lap race, and since it happened on lap 5, and since we are coming to the 7th lap, this will be a 1-lap, like the truck race, 1-lap shootout. Oh boy. We're going green. Harvick and NASCAR fan 20 side by side. Here comes Kenseth to the inside with a little help from Hamlin, and Kenseth pulls it off. Second win of the season for that 20 team. Here's the top 10 finishing order. Matt Kenseth, your winner. NASCAR fan 20 second. Kevin Harvick third. Denny Hamlin fourth. Dale Earnhardt Jr. rounds out the top 5. Eric Almirola sixth. Carl Edwards seventh. Chase Elliott eighth. Jeff Gordon ninth. And Ryan Blaney rounds out the top 10. That finish reminded... Hold on. Well, before I do show you the replay, here is an updated playoff grid. Casey Kane's win at Charlotte already immediately locked himself into the eliminator round. NASCAR fan 20, Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Carl Edwards, Jeff Gordon, Ryan Blaney, and Ryan Reed are still in the hunt. The same cannot be said for Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Jimmy Johnson, nor Tony Stewart. Therefore, in other words, 4 of those drivers I just said are out of the title hunt. But I swear, that finish, today's finish, reminded me of one finish that I remember in particular. I sworn there was a finish somewhat like that here, as Matt Kenseth does his burnout, celebrates in victory circle. But before we sign off, let's see that finish again. NASCAR Fan 20 and Kevin Harvick side by side. Coming off of turn 4 and entering the tri-oval. Here comes Kenseth with a full load of steam with assistance from his teammate Denny Hamlin. And Kenseth with the boost to the flag. Man, I'm pretty sure I've seen... I'm pretty sure that there was a finish like this at this track many years ago. I'm pretty sure. But other than that, as I said earlier, since I showed you the replay of the big wreck that happened just now in the Cup Series race, I'm going to take a step back and a flashback to the truck race in the Mountain Dew 250 on the wreck that unfolded with NASCAR Fan 20, Sprint Cup Series Level 12, and others. Here's a replay on what happened in the Mountain Dew 250 race in the NASCAR Camping World Series. Todd Gilliland and Sprint Cup Series Level 12 for Kyle Busch Motorsports having the run on the inside. Sprint Cup Series Level 12 comes down, or comes up, I should say, not down. Todd Gilliland still pushing. NASCAR Fan 20 and John West Townley they're just victims along for the ride. And Sprint Cup Series Level 12 with a wild ride, I'll say that much. Donnie Leverster, Cody Coughlin and Kyle Busch get caught up in it. Nowhere to go for them. Wicked wreck, I'll say that much. Sprint Cup Series Level 12 on top of NASCAR Fan 20, upside down, may I add. And on top of Kyle Busch, too. That 54 truck got into the catch fence, too. Man, oh man, that was a scary wreck. And, by the way, because of this wreck, believe it or not, this may sound heartbreaking, but Sprint Cup Series Level 12's NASCAR career comes to a close. Why? Because of this wreck. The future is dashed for her. How sad and how heartbreaking is that? How heartbreaking is that? But at least we get to see Matt Crafton get his first win of the season, and Matt Kenseth get his second win of the season. And timed it absolutely perfectly too. Kenseth did. Holy cow! But too bad he's not a championship contender anymore, though, for the rest of the season. After getting eliminated after the conclusion of the Dover race. But won Talladega, which means he doesn't have to be a championship contender to get it done. He just has to believe in himself and just put it on the floor, that gas pedal all the way down to the floor, and, well, it happened. It showed, and Kenseth takes the checkered flag in the Hellman's 500. Dale Jr. fan, signing off from the booth in Talladega, and I'll see you in Martinsville for the truck race and the cup race. See you there.